Hi there. Good morning. This is your psychic Christine. Thank you so much for listening in. Of course, I always appreciate it. Your positive feedback, your stars, your Google reviews. Love it. Thank you so much for doing that. Greatly appreciated. And of course, if there's anyone that you know that you think would benefit from this podcast, please share. Thanks again. This is episode 62. And I guess the topic is practice makes perfect. Now, there are many of us that are religious, and there are many of us that are not religious but spiritual. So I'm spiritual. I believe in all things. If you were to come over to my place, you'd see the Star of David, a crucifix, Hindu stuff, Buddhist stuff all over the place. In the morning, I will burn candles for all of the people that I work for. In the evening, I burn candles and incense and meditate for all of the people that I work for. Practice makes perfect, okay? Especially if there's more than one person on board. You'd be surprised at how powerful that is when there are two people or more in one accord. And there are a lot of us that believe that just because they're not religious, that gets them off the hook with what they practice. But practicing is a very important tool to our prayers and our hopes and our goals and our wishes to manifest and become a reality. Because it's very important that no matter what it is that you believe in, that you are expressing faith. So much of our prayers stay in our minds, and we are not, as an example, meditating on them or getting on our knees and putting our hands together and praying for all of that to come our way. So practicing, like I said, is very symbolic of faith. It's a good thing to do, and I advise all of the people that I work for and do readings for to practice whatever it is that they believe in, okay? Whatever that may be, it's important to put it into motion. If we keep everything on the inside and are doing absolutely nothing with our physical bodies, then, what is that worth? So many of us just get up, go to work, and we practice, that kind of ritual, but what are we doing for our spiritual well-being? And there are so many of us that want to meditate and don't know how. And in upcoming podcast, I plan to do that for us, give some instructions on how to go about meditating. So many of us take vows of silence for a certain period of time, or maybe only speak if they have something important to say. And I've done that. I've done that, and that's actually very helpful. Fasting is very helpful. It teaches us some self-discipline and helps us to grow spiritually, and of course, cleansing our bodies and our minds as well. And when you do the silence thing for a period of time, whatever period you think is a good idea, and I suggest that you start small, like a day, to begin with, you will find that we are a bunch of chatterboxes when you start sorting out or saying to yourself, I'm only going to speak if I have something important to say. You'll find yourself staying quiet. But the great thing about staying silent is it helps you to observe what's going on around you, which is really good. That helps to enhance your abilities as far as using your third eye and seeing things kind of from like Well, basically, you're paying more attention because you're not so focused on yourself and what you've got to say, and you pay more attention to your environment, and you become a better listener. And that's so important, to be a good listener. Very important. Not just for the people, the person that's speaking to you, but for yourself as well. Because you'd be surprised at how much you'd get to understand another person when you stop thinking about what it is that you want to say, how much you get to know the other person better as a result. Some of us don't even realize that we're struggling with that, but many of us do. So for me, my practice is I get up every morning and start burning candles for the people that I work for. At night, I meditate, burn candles, light incense, and meditate for the people that I work for. And I use all of my psychic abilities to be able to help lead them and guide them into the right direction. Okay? And of course, through our practice, we don't force anything to happen. We don't make anything happen. We just want to clear out whatever is negative in our lives to allow the positive process of reaching our goals and what it is that we want for ourselves and for others to come to fruition. Miracles happen. Miracles happen if we can get and this is, easier said than done, by getting our mind, body, and spirit in one accord. Some of us, or maybe even a lot of us, have experienced that for a moment, for a minute, or for a certain period of time, and then, crazy miracles happen as a result, and then poof, it just disappears. We lose it because we lose our balance sometimes. So we want to empower that side of ourselves so we can maintain that and make it last. And there's lots to be done in order to achieve that. And I want to help all of my listeners here and all the people that I work for to achieve that. Some of us, can get stuck into a bad habit of second guessing ourselves, self-doubt, doubt in the spiritual world. And sometimes I watch these on cable television, these science programs or whatever. And when they start to talk about all of that stuff, they say how it happened, but they're just saying, it appears, and even the, scientists are saying that this is no accident. It seems all of the universe and earth and people and our very existence is not an accident. And I know wholeheartedly, because of all of the spiritual experiences that I've had over my lifetime up to now, that there is something out there that is more than just us, okay? So in our lives, we have, rituals that we follow. We get up in the morning, we go to work, we come home, we eat. Maybe on the weekend, we'll go out and do something with our friends, whatever. But I'm advising everyone to take some time out every day and practice a little bit what it is that you believe in. I think that would be a great thing. Even if it's just once a week, I think that you should definitely be committed to practicing whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, whatever the case may be, Muslim. Just do the do, and watch how these little adjustments in your routine can have such a phenomenal impact on the rest of your life. So, as I always say, this podcast is for to help as many people as I possibly can. It applies, to the general out there, but it is not meant to be a substitute for having a one-on-one reading. There are so many of you that are experiencing possibly something that I have never mentioned on this podcast. And by coming in or calling in and having a reading done, I can be able to tune into your specific situation. And I also have psychics that also are phenomenal, Psychic Snow, Psychic Cassidy, that can be able to help you with your specific needs. So go ahead and have a look at my website, psychicreadingstoday.com. Feel free to call and have a reading done. And again, thank you so much for listening in. I hope all of you are finding this podcast helpful. And practice makes perfect. Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen.